You okay, buddy? Come through. He's one of the top guys at Gymshark. All right, matey. How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate.
Good, mate, good. Right then, guys. So, goals, guys. Welcome, guys. Okay, so welcome back to episode number 3 to Road to Pro. Today's shoulders and traps. But before we get into it, there's been a slight development. So, we actually had a meeting with Gymshark, with Noel, one of the head guys at Gymshark. And went to the HQ in Solihull, went to the lifting club, and can't divulge into it too much, but a world record attempt will be going down at Classic Physique's gym in the near future, with a few Gymshark athletes involved too, all to be disclosed in the upcoming episodes. So, back to it. Okay, so I started the prep up at 16 stone 5, I'm now 16 stone 1, so initial point was 16 stone 5, next week was 16 stone 3, now I'm 16 stone 1. And things are going really good, energy levels are good, and feeling good within myself. The reason why I'm dressed up like this is because I'm going to do some headshots now with Andy before we get into the session, to kickstart some acting. So this will be for my portfolio, so far so good. Andy, 91 Visuals again, thank you for taking the time to film this video. Feeling very good. Without further ado, let's get to it. All right, buddy. Right then, guys, so my workout today, shoulders traps. We're starting off with a cuff lateral raise, probably one of my favourite exercises to do for shoulders. Not only because I enjoy doing them, but also because it yields the most progress. So I'm going to set this up now. So what you want is, put the cuffs on initially, and you want to bring it to a position where it's not going to hit your thighs on the way up on the lift. So number 11 on this particular machine. Okay, let's start with a warm-up. So there's loads of different varieties you can do this, guys. So what I like to do is I like to roll a bench in. So I'm going to grab a bench now. Right arm through the left cuff, left arm through the right cuff. Get yourself in position, lie back, get blinded by the sun, and go for it. So I intend to do 2 warm-ups on this, so I'll go for 50 and then 50. I'm not really one of these people that likes to do 3 or 4 working sets. I prefer to do 1 or 2 all-out sets and go from there. Sometimes I'll perform a drop set, but not all the time. It's all dependent on feeling. So let's get that last one from the go. So, next exercise, we drop them down in between the bottom and where we just were, number 5 we'll say. We do 1 warm-up set or so. I find this is more anterior head as opposed to the lateral head, which is what's going to give you that width across. So, looking more anterior now. So one thing I haven't done for many months, probably in that sort of a year and a half, I've only put it shoulder press, probably 4 or 5 times. Just one-off, just because I enjoy lifting overhead. But I find my shoulders have grown even more since I've stopped doing it, because it predominantly hits the anterior head. If I do this shot here, I've noticed that this area here, which is the anterior head, is quite strong and quite over-dominant. So I've been underplaying my shoulder pressing and letting the other areas catch up. And as a result, I feel like I've put more balance to my shoulder development and more to my physique, letting the readouts catch up. And overall, I think the look is a bigger look, which is what we're after. So let's get the warm-up in and we go for the next set. 50s. I'm ready. This is when champions carry on. Well then guys, so next exercise, probably one of my favourite rear delt exercises, using the cuffs to bring it from higher position to a lower position, making sure I'm contracting my rear delt as hard as I can. Keep the elbows high, so you're going to be starting this position and keep them high. A lot of people make the mistake of doing this and retracting the scapula as you're pushing back, and that's only going to work rhomboids and trapezius. What we're going to try and focus on is posterior deltoids. Now, can't give you enough emphasis on how important these are. This will all square off the shoulder, which will really add a lot of density and 3D shape to your muscle. So one thing I would say is that always prioritise these above probably anterior deltoids, especially the front, because we get that from a lot of our pressing movements anyway, so don't neglect those rear deltoids. I use the cuffs, instead of gripping from here, and my grip giving out before my rear delts do, by gripping it in this position here, it ensures that my rear delts will give out before my grip does. So let's get the first set. So it's important to mention that I do like to do more than one all-out set on rear delts, just because I feel like get a better pump and a better sort of like feeling within the muscle. So when I went to America, I spoke briefly in the last video. If you haven't seen it, excuse me, have a little look back. I'm talking about what Frank Zane and Samir Banu told me, and they said I'm actually probably overtraining, I'm probably doing too much, so not necessarily the intensity, but doing too many sets, and it's not allowing me to recover. Obviously, I don't have the aid of performance enhancing drugs like other athletes, so I haven't got the luxury to recover. So I need to make sure that I prioritise my recovery, which is why, if you follow us on Instagram, James T. Barrows, or Classic Physiques Gym, that I'm actually doing a lot of ice baths. I'm doing those 5-6 days a week at the minute, just because I'm a very busy person, man, outside of the gym. I'm currently renovating a house. I'm obviously doing this full time. I do 40-45 hours of personal training per week. Obviously, you know, just running this business is enough. Obviously, Gymshark on the sideline, competing, eating 6 meals a day every day, dieting. It's a lot to take on, you know. But there's some good things coming in the future, and top it off, I'm getting into acting as well, because I really want to try and, you know, put my foot in the door with that. Something I've always wanted to do, which is why Andy was gracious enough to help us out with some stills for my CV, you know, for my acting CV really. So we call it something, I can't think of it, but yeah. So I'm going to try and get involved with that. Maybe take some acting lessons as well. Get my foot in there and do some extra work to begin with, and get into it that way. So hopefully it all corresponds together with my prep and everything. So we are now, I think we're about 20 weeks out. 20 weeks out this weekend we are. And things, as you can see, I'm very happy with how things are running. Getting tighter and tighter, especially in the midsection each time. Don't know what the footage is like yet, so we don't know yet. But yeah, no, I can see it with my eyes, I'm getting better. Much off camera speaking, I'm much fuller than last time, much thicker. And I'm leaner than last time as well. And that just comes with muscle maturity, not going overboard in the off season. Remember, don't chase the weight. It's just a measurement on the scale. Go with what you look like, okay? You know, on stage, they don't go, James, how much do you weigh? And I'll tell them, and they go, no, that's no good. They look at me, I'm either in shape or I'm not. So I've got to make sure that I'm in shape. And Samir said, he went, James, don't get too big. Frank Zane said, don't get too big. So I listened to what they've said and put it into my training and into my nutrition. And I'm as ready as I'll ever be, that's for sure, spiritually, mentally and physically. So, guys, whatever you're working towards, just keep working towards whatever you are. And if you do get disappointments, then just move on from it. Bear in mind, this is all I've ever wanted, is an IFBB Pro card and make it to the Mission Olympia. I've come that close twice to the last 2 people. You know, and I was asked the other day, will you ever like give up and like, you know, if you don't get this year, what will I do? And that's a fair question, but I just can't give up, man, you know. And this is not just off camera, you know what I mean? I can think my actions speak louder than the words I could ever say, and I want to make sure that I get it there and I don't give up on my dream, you know, because I know I will get there, it's just a matter of time. Just keep on positive. And I think I said at one of my videos before, success comes when you go through failure and failure without losing enthusiasm. I think Einstein said that, but it's very true. So I'm going to do one more set on here, lean over, do one more set on there. I'm going to hit some shrugs, and then Andy's got a massive leg day, and I'm going to record Andy as well. I'm going to record Andy, 6 plates side and squat, 10 reps, let's go, bro. Okay. Last set, we'll do the wind down. That'll do it, matey, before I push my luck. Okay, right then guys, so that concludes the video for today. We are 20 weeks out this weekend. And to finish the video, I'll tell you a little bit about the gym's plans. So, we are, as I mentioned before, working with Gymshark in the upcoming months. Some exciting news which will be disclosed in the upcoming videos. And we've just inserted, well, this week, 2 ski ergs are coming for the gym. I don't think Andy knows, no? Yeah, so we've got 2 ski ergs coming this weekend for the functional section of the gym, which is really, really positive. And yeah, what else is going on? Yeah, we just continue dieting, really, guys. So I'll tell you a little bit about my training and my nutrition. I'm currently on roughly 3,500 calories, 3,500 calories. I'm losing 2 pounds.